My name is Armando Zambrano. I'm from Long Beach, California. At one time I was an Eastside Longo gang member from here, the city of Long Beach. I pretty much got my life in order these days. Started going to church. Went ahead and started working with at-risk youth in the city of Las Vegas, where I relocated to. I originally started off boxing here in the city of Long Beach at the Seaside Gym, back in the day when they had the Long Beach Pike, back when Mando Ramos and them were training here in Long Beach. Raul Rojas and all them, they were a little bit before my time, but I was at the same gym, Seaside Gym on Pine Avenue. Then I went ahead and went to prison for many years. I boxed while I was in prison, and pretty much I got out in 2007, and basically I haven't gotten into any trouble since then. I was 12 years old. We had just moved. I was born in East Los Angeles and relocated to the city of Long Beach in 1976. That same year I got jumped into Eastside Longo. So I basically, all of my youth and my teenage life, I was involved in the Eastside Longo gang. Man, I've been all over. I started off at Chino prison. I went to CRC. I went to Sierra, and then I moved up to Tehachapi, and then the Tehachapi 4, Corcoran. I've been pretty much all over the place. Jamestown, Sierra, Donovan, Huasco, Delano. I've been to all the ag-segs there is. Calipatria. That's basically about it. Or Tuolumne. I've been, like I said, to all the ag-segs. I spent 24 years in the adult authority, and before that I was in the youth authority, and like I said, I was in the juvenile camp program. So I spent basically more than half of my life. I'm 48 years old. I'll be 49 in March. I usually would just stay out for a month, 30 days, if that. One time I stood out one day, I didn't even make it home to Long Beach. I got out from the LA County Jail and I made it as far as downtown LA, and I got into it with the police down there. Ended up picking up a case over there, fighting with the cops, trying to get away. And that was just basically my life right there, man. I was in and out. Like I said, one time I stood out a day. Usually I wouldn't stay out more than a month, and I'd go right back with 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I stayed in the hole, man. I was one of the riders, bro. I was one of the riders. So I already knew as soon as I hit the yard what I had to do, what was expected of me, and that was to keep things together. And nowadays those days are over with. Thanks to the man upstairs, all that has changed, and it's an experience that I look back on. It keeps me strong. It keeps me going. Sometimes I feel like I'm pretty much fighting a losing battle out here in society, because I have a lot of people that look down on me because I still dress the way I do. I'll never change. Like they say, you can take the boy out the ring, but you can't take the ring out the boy. And that's just the way it is, man. So I have a lot of people that don't believe in me, but after a while they start believing when they see the results. They see the kids fighting for the junior golden gloves. I just took one kid to the junior nationals, and he won in Mesquite, Nevada a couple years ago. So when they see that, they see the interviews on Televisa, 8 News Now, a local Las Vegas news station. When they see the interviews that you're about to see in the newspapers, then the people start believing, because they see that the actions speak louder than words, basically. When I first started doing drugs, I was just a kid, 11 years old, when I started smoking marijuana. I was 11 years old. And that graduated to harder drugs, to pills, to, et cetera, et cetera. One drug led to another, and it got pretty serious now. Nowadays, I hate drugs. I can't stand them because it ruined my life. I was addicted for many years. I'd say a good 30 years. I'm 49, I'm gonna be 49, yeah, a good 30 years. I got tired of it and I left it alone, and I wish I would have done that a long time ago. I wish I would have left the drugs and all the BS. I wish I would have just left all that alone. Now that I'm doing this, teaching kids to box and drug-free, I wish I would have done this a long time ago.
And what kind of a negative impact has the drugs and everything else had on your life?
Well, you see, my daughter, she's here in Long Beach, and she won't even come to see me here. She still doesn't believe it, and I've been out since '07. I'm going on my 7th year that I've been out of prison, and I just did people wrong, my loved ones, for so many years that a lot of them, like my daughter, for example, she still doesn't believe it. So, I mean, I would tell the next person, if you're planning on going that route, I think you better think twice about it. A lot of these kids, as you can see, they're want to be gangsters, or they're trying to become part of a gang, and they make good fighters because they grow up on the streets fighting. I get them in the gym, I teach them to box, I teach them to do something productive with their time instead of hanging out on a street corner like I used to. And they make good fighters, these kids. They just need to be given a chance, just like anybody else, you know? We all make mistakes in life, and it's what we do with our mistakes. If we don't grow from our mistakes, then pretty much like Napoleon says, show me a man who makes the same mistakes twice and I'll show you a fool. Basically, that's pretty much the way it goes, you know? When I was in and out of prison, youth authorities, juvenile camps in LA County, when I was going through all that, my dad was always there for me. He was always there. He would always tell me, you need to change your life, otherwise. One day he took me to Skid Row, downtown LA. I had got out of Soledad prison, I think it was. And he said, look, he picked me up at the Greyhound bus station. He said, you're gonna be on the streets like those winos, like those hobos, like those bums, if you continue to do what you're doing. Yeah, right now you got me a place to go, now that you're stepping out of prison. But when I die, you're gonna have nobody. And sure enough, one day I got out of prison, my dad was dead, and I had nobody to go to. And I was right there on that street corner with those bums hanging out, because I had nowhere to go. I got shot in a random drive-by. I was 13, like I said. The bullet lodged in my spine. I couldn't feel my legs from my waist down. I was paralyzed for a couple of weeks. God gave me a second chance. I guess God knew someday I would be doing this.
My big homie Moreno was killed in front of my house. He lived down the street from me. I knew him most of my life. Well, a lot of my friends are fucking doped out and not doing cool. Like I'm kind of like the last of the Mohicans to be here.
I have to feed my kids. I had to take them to school. I had to, before I was doing illegal shit, so I didn't have no job. So at that time I was getting fast money, and I could do whatever the fuck I want.